impact is something we recognize and celebrate every day. When we speak of the food and beverage and hospitality industries, the presence of women in leading roles and as entrepreneurs has increased over the years and continues to grow. But there is still much more to be done to improve representation and create equal opportunities. There are numerous job opportunities that exist for women in this space, and also almost as many challenges. Knowing where to start, how to succeed in this industry can be overwhelming. We at Food Safety Works have therefore taken this opportunity to start a conversation on this with three accomplished women entrepreneurs and exploring their journey so far, and also getting the views on the future of women in food. Added to that, the advice on how to go about it. It gives me a pleasure to introduce our panel today. And interestingly, we have two Divyas in our panel today. Our first speaker, Divya, is the founder of Artistic Group, a plant-forward food processing and manufacturing company focused on delivering clean and progressive food solutions. Divya began her professional journey in the creative industry and co-founded the bridal fashion label Silkoton Design Studio in Bangalore, with her mother in 2009. Over the years, the brand became known for its precision in design and craftsmanship. She later launched a ready-to-wear khadi label that worked closely with weavers from regions such as Burdwan and Bhuj. In 2025, Divya transitioned into the food sector with Artistic Agro, bringing a systems-driven approach to operations and focusing on efficient and responsible production practices. Welcome, Divya.
Thank you so much, Sarika. Thanks for giving me a voice and putting me under the spotlight.
Well, our second speaker, Mansi, is the founder and CEO of Just Deliveries, a company that focuses on optimizing mid-mile logistics for the food and beverage industry. Just Deliveries operates across 6 cities in India and uses a technology-enabled network to improve the reliability and efficiency of fresh food movement. Under Mansi's leadership, the company has developed its proprietary logistics platform and built a strong operational team culture. Welcome, Mansi, to our conversation.
Thank you, Sarika.
Our third speaker, Divya C, is a dynamic and enterprising first-generation entrepreneur and researcher. She currently holds the position of CEO at BioAgile Therapeutics and MD of Capable Beverages. She comes with 15 years of experience with a PG degree in biochemistry. Divya has successfully steered numerous high-impact projects. Prior to her current role, she has played instrumental roles in renowned organizations such as Adventist and Tata Group. Divya is well regarded in the industry and has established collaborations with various corporations and esteemed academic institutions. Welcome, Divya.
Thank you so much. That's so generous of you for giving an introduction.
You're welcome. We're delighted to have all three lovely women in the room today and here to start the journeys, insights, and perspectives on the evolving food industry. Once again, welcoming all inspiring entrepreneurs who are contributing to different yet equally important parts of the food ecosystem. To kick off the conversation, I'd like to start with talking about their individual stories. Starting with you, Divya Kumar, your professional journey from building a fashion label to launching a sustainable food venture. What inspired your transition from creative industry into the food and agriculture space?
I actually set out to be a journalist after I graduated from college, and I somehow ended up in my mother's atelier. She was a fairly established designer back in the early noughts. And, I told myself, instead of being creative with words, I'll try and be creative with textiles. And that's what I tried and did for 18 years. And I had a fair amount of success, critical and popular. I launched a passion project. My mom's label predominantly did wedding trousseau for brides to be. And there was so much wastage and use of fabric that I didn't essentially connect with. From a very young age, I was drawn to the Gandhian ideals of Swaraj and self-reliance. And I wasn't a capitalist by nature. So, my personal ideals combined with what I was trying to do at that point in time in life, work-wise, I decided to launch a clothing brand, which was also called Artistic. Vikram and I had the ideal of marrying our work. So we launched Artistic together with two verticals, textile and agro, both being produce of nature. I wanted to work with fabrics which were earth-like and which came, which was a pristine produce, of this country, our heritage, so to speak. So that's when I started to work with designers in Bhuj and Burdwan, and also in the backyard of Bangalore in Melkote. And I really enjoyed the process of design intervention and bringing those fabrics back to my atelier and designing clothes in a way that it fitted a global aesthetic. And I did trunk shows all over the world. I went to Europe. I went to some parts of Africa, and of course, I went to a decent amount of cities in India as well. But things so turned out that after COVID, I happened to lose my mother just before COVID, and after a brief sabbatical, when I restarted my atelier, things had changed. I didn't see myself having the fire and drive to scale up the business. So I told myself that it's time for me to start finding a space that I could apply myself in a way that it was satisfying, which is why and when and how I went and certified myself to be a permaculturist. I spent a few weeks rather, in a farm in northern Telangana with a very famous permaculturist called Narsana. And I did a course, understood what permaculture was all about, and parallelly, Vikram and I were trying to become urban farmers. We had acquired some farmland near Mysore, and that had taken off. We had gone about putting together an agroforest, and that the love for understanding how ecosystems can come together in a way that it can naturally uplift each other appealed to me a lot. It was, in a lot of ways, very similar to what I was trying to achieve with my clothing brand. And yes, permaculture happened, and then I began to realize that the homegrown business, which was being neglected, had grown substantially, and it was time for me to be at the helm of it. So that's how I began to become a full-time managing partner at Artistic Agro, and I'm enjoying. I always had the skill to think critically, to be a problem solver, to be an analytical thinker. But now those terms began to have a new meaning in a management structure, and I'm learning every day. It's an interesting journey that has just begun. So I look forward very much to it. I hope I didn't overshoot my time, Sarika. Please feel free to cut me if I'm rambling on.
No, not at all. You can still take time, and it's interesting to hear your journey about how you started as a journalist and then into the fashion industry, and then started looking for the textiles, and now into the food industry. It's been a pretty, I think, a roller coaster ride for you, right? And an interesting one, hopefully. You're right. And
Yeah.
moving to, yeah. So, yeah.
Yes,
So
you're
moving
right.
to, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Divya.
We
Please,
can
please, go
chat.
ahead. No, please go ahead.
Yes. No, you're right. But interestingly, what I've noticed is even though I've chosen different paths, somehow the framework of ideology somehow remains the same. I think that's what is keeping me grounded to doing, what I'm doing mindfully and honestly. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I feel.
Absolutely. I think by the end of the day, you have to be happy, you have to be satisfied with what you are doing, adding value to the whole process system and all, right? Yeah, so that's interesting. So let's move on to you, Mansi. You come from a polymer tech background and you moved into transportation and logistic business, right? Which is traditionally, if you look at, it's a very male dominated space. What made you make this switch?
So yeah, by academic background, I've done polymer technology in UD City. I did my MBA from FMS. And I was very fortunate to spend the first 4 years of my career in a private equity fund where we were actually investing in building Indian infrastructure, building ports, bridges, and investing foreign money into that. I think a lot of my thought formation came from there, where I saw that there were so many inefficiencies and so many gaps in Indian infrastructure, and any addition or any efficiencies would lead to so many benefits, so much employment, and so much GDP growth. Having worked in a private equity setup, I also understood what it is to build scalable businesses that are also investable. So I was very fortunate to have that experience. I also worked with the Tata Group where we would invest in tech-related businesses for the group. So armed with these two things, I actually set out into logistics. And that happened because I observed a very basic problem, in the food industry. So India has actually built some fantastic food brands and restaurant chains. But when I looked at the supply chain closely, I realized that the mid-mile logistics was very fragmented and extremely unreliable. Fresh food was moving through systems that were designed for general cargo movement. There was no temperature sensitivity, there was no hygiene, there was no time criticality understood. I think coming from an engineering background, we tend to look at problems from a systems and process perspective. And I said that what if I can bring technology and data visibility and SOPs into food logistics? Can we really improve the reliability for food businesses? That's what led me to start Just Deliveries. And the focus has been to build a specialized logistics network for the food industry. Interestingly, while you're right, traditionally, logistics is male dominated. I find that if we really focus on building a very strong team culture, if we show growth, if we show there's process, discipline, and transparency, people very quickly respect competence, more than roles. And interestingly, now in India, I am very proud to say there are so many other leaders in logistics, in supply chain, founders of emerging logistics companies. So it's no more a traditional male-dominated industry.
That's interesting to know. More women are coming into logistics, making it more sense. Hopefully, we will not see any more, autos taking our food products from place A to place B, and we'll have more temperature control or more, cleaner, hygienic vehicles, which will be moving our food from A to B,
Yes,
right? So,
yes.
yeah, that's interesting to know, right? Saying like, yeah, that's always a problem, and then competence, as you said, it's more looked into. Saying like, who is driving it does not make sense. If you are competent to drive that, so it does not matter which gender you come from, right? Rightly mentioned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So moving to you, Divya, You have a background in biochemistry, and you've been working with organic biofertilizers, plant nutrients, right, which goes right at the growing phase of our produce, the food that we do, right? You've also worked as a business development person with different labs, and now you are running 3 companies as founder, as a serial entrepreneur. Right. How has your journey been, with your entrepreneurship that you are in?
Thank you so much, Sarika, for the question, and thank you for all of other members for introducing yourself. It was quite interesting. So when I was studying itself, I was very clear I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I had no interest in working with somebody, but still I wanted to gain the knowledge, working experience. How does a company work? So I worked with a couple of companies like the SAMI group of companies. I worked for an year, and also I work with the Tata group of companies. And I think Tata groups gives a lot of ethics, values. These are the things more we learn when we were working. And this gave, and I was handling business development with the Tata Advinas group of companies. This gave me a lot of space where I could explore my, understand what is my capabilities, understand how the market is, how a company runs. So at 2016, I started my own clinical research company with does clinical trials. It's been almost 10 years for now. We are running, we're doing good as of now. We are working with clients in India. We are working with clients with US, Europe, even Southeast Asian market. We're doing a lot of studies with all the, as this is a food related discussion, we are doing a lot of work with a lot of nutraceutical companies like the Amways, Glambia, OmniActives. Lot of their products which are in market are being tested and done trials by Biogen, and we have published papers with a lot of good high end impact journals as well. And meanwhile, 2025, myself and my partner, Mr. Ujjal Ghosh, we started our new food processing and packing company. Dan Food, it's a green tea. I can tell you, green tea processing and packing unit, which is in the Doddaballapur industrial area. We just understood that in Bangalore, Bangalore being a most coffee consumers, tea consumers, we don't have any packaging unit in Bangalore. That is what we thought of, because most of them are in the north part of India. So we thought, why don't we have one here? And I met the right partner, Mr. Ghosh, and we thought starting that this was the right time to start. And it's been almost 8-9 months, and we'll be launching this in I think with Sarika's support also. For we are taking it for few certifications and all. We're launching in the next 1 month or so. We'll be starting our production as well. So the journey has been quite interesting for me. Always the science interested me a lot than anything else. Science, food, medicines, these are, I think that these are things which interested me a lot. And I had the entrepreneur drive to start something or something. I think like as of now it's going good, and we are planning to have our own brand of green tea which goes all over the world with some innovative technology is what we are planning and building up now as well. And that will be the next 6 months of innovation work which we will be taking up.
Wishing you all the best, Divya, with your new venture. Hope you grow, multiple times and that. And coming back to you, Divya, you did mention that from the starting itself, you had that urge of sustainability, right, out there. How have those experiences, working with close collaboration with local producers and artisans and all of those, influenced the way you approach the sustainability and sourcing at Artistic Agro?
Yes, from a very young age, I became very aware of mindfulness and mindful consumption. I did not want to be a consumer driven by avarice, which is why, I keep saying Swaraj, self-reliance. those ideals were so strongly sort of born within me. And I guess it's also how my family lived, and, yes, so that spirit has stayed with me through and through. How has that influenced me in my current line of work? We at Earthistic Agro, I don't think I've mentioned what is it that we exactly do, but we are a plant-forward food facility, and we grow microgreens in our facility along with a few exotic sprouts. We have other items related to garnish that we grow within our farm and indoor facility. And we've recently started to make tofu, which is paneer made from soya bean. It's a completely plant-based a product, so whole as a protein that it has all the essential amino acids. How do I imbibe the spirit of self-reliance? We've tried hard to sell, and we've been in business for 10 years now. This is our 10th year. We've tried very hard to stay away from exotic seed varieties that one has to import from Southeast Asia, from Europe. Even though the demand, there is an ask for a certain type of microgreens, we've stuck to what is local, what can be locally sourced in terms of seeds, from FPOs, from farmer produce organizations, from seed banks. And we, even with soybean, soybean is non-GMO and sourced from the soybean bowl of India, which is the MP. We work with a few farmers in that belt to get our soybean. We've tried to keep our workforce local. We've tried to stay energy efficient, even though I admit we have not been very successful, but efforts are on, with a manufacturing facility, you're always tussling until you reach that optimum scale of growth. You're always tussling between scale and the right way to optimize resources. It's a constant tussle between these two factors. So we're still getting there. We're very nascent, but yes, the spirit has stayed within. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's interesting to know. And then I think efforts are something which matters, right? Things are sometimes beyond your control, right? But efforts have to be there, and that's a good one. Saying like trying to, do it locally, and then stay away from the GMO products, and something which is not exported, right? Imported.
Yeah, and minimize use of single-use plastic as such, but food grade plastic over a certain GSM, and build some sort of circular economy with how we treat our wastage, especially with tofu. Our okara goes to a goshala in north of Bangalore. Yeah, so we've tried to be mindful of these little aspects. So as and when we scale, it becomes easier to loop these principles back into scale.
Yes, absolutely. And small efforts takes you a long way for sure, right? And starting right at the start itself helps you to do that. Yeah. Thank you, and good to know that. And moving to you, Mansi, everybody sees food in a packet or on a plate, right? And logistic generally or often it's the invisible backbone of the food industry. When you started just deliveries, what key inefficiency did you observe in the food logistic ecosystem? You did mention a little, while you started it, but it would be good to know a little more detail. And how did you approach, your approach aim to solve them differently from the traditional logistic providers? Yeah.
Okay, so to give context, what we exactly do. So today, thanks to Swiggy and Zomato, all brands, QSRs, cafe chains, they are opening multiple outlets. Now, typically, all their food is prepared in a central kitchen. And every day they need their curries, raw materials, bakery products to be delivered from the central kitchen to multiple outlets. So this is an everyday delivery, whether it is a cafe chain which has to send bakery products. So we work with Third Wave Coffee, Blue Tokai, Sappo, these brands. Whether it's an ice cream chain, so we work with brands like Naturals, stocking their outlets with ice cream. It could be QSRs, small ones like Corican and all in Bangalore, or large ones like we do fresh milk distribution for McDonald's, we do ITC cloud kitchens. And it's also quick com companies. So interestingly, even Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, even they have a DC, and every day their dark stores need to be stocked with perishable food items. So that is what we do. And given the nature of food, and Sarika, you would know this the best, right? Given the nature of food, there are sensitivities. So there are three major gaps that we are addressing. One is the lack of reliability. So food businesses are constantly struggling with late deliveries. So if their products not reach the outlet and the customers walked in, it's a loss of sale. Then temperature fluctuations, because the drivers, commercial drivers, are so poorly paid in our country, they tend to make an extra buck by switching off the reefer and saving on diesel. So this leads to a lot of temperature fluctuations, and it leads to the products getting damaged because of the cold chain abuse, and just generally inconsistent service levels. So we are addressing lack of reliability. We are addressing lack of visibility, right? Brands, once it leaves their central kitchen, they have no idea where their products are, what condition it's traveling in. So we are addressing lack of visibility. And third is specialization. So even today, most of these tempos or logistics companies are treating food the same way they treat as any other cargo. So we are handling that. Now, how are we addressing this? So basically, we are doing IoT-enabled temperature monitoring, right? So all our vehicles have GPS trackers, have temperature monitors, and all of that data is flowing to our control tower, and our control tower is actually tracking this. Okay, we've developed standardized SOPs for food handling, which we train our drivers on. And basically, our app, like you open a Porter, you open an Uber, our customers can now open the JD app and see exactly where their vehicle is, what the ETA is, what the live temperature is. So our goal at Just Deliveries is not just transporting products from A to B. It's about ensuring it's done in the right way, so that food brands can scale rapidly within the city and across cities.
So that basically helps a lot of cafes, restaurants, QSRs to, scale up on their businesses, because there's reliability. They can see where the vehicle is, what time is the vehicle coming in. I think that solves a lot of problem for all the restaurateurs who are there, in the market. Hope you add many more to your bucket, right? To expand further from the 6 cities that you're handling right now.
Thank
Right?
you.
Yeah. And moving to you, Divya, you started your business with the organic biofertilizers, right? Which goes in the farms, right? And moving to, tea now, wherein you are trying to set up a automated packing, factory where you can handle everything, without human intervention. What made this transition happen, and how different are these two in terms of nature of business and all of those?
So it's basically, I started with a clinical research company where we do human trials, where you do the testing on humans, where you check the safety and efficacy of some medicine. That was my business start actually. So that I run for many years, and it's currently also running very well as well. But I wanted to do something in the more in the food space, where we are involved directly, where we have our own manufacturing and factory setup. That was my idea. But this is basically what a service industry, where we are dealing with a lot of regulatory hindrances, challenges, everything. But what made me move is like I always felt we always have to get into product industry as well. I was basically in the service industry. I was very much interested to get into product industry. That's where we thought to start with the foundation of packing services and then get into our own product is what we planned for. And that's quite going well as of now. Like, we're lined up with few client packers who are interested to work with us, and we have come up with a new technology for our new green tea product as well. So the transition was not a quick transition, but it was a thought process which was running in quite long. And we have to meet the right partners, right? That the time we meet right partners, that's how the collaboration happened. And it is quite interesting, as I think Divya Kumar also already told, like, it's all the same, business is all the same, the overall framework remains the same. Only thing, how you address things in a different way, it matters. A business is a business, but here is a service industry, there is the product industry, different approaches, but overall the things looks the same. But I'm quite interested with the new thing, because we all entrepreneurs need something new every day and something new every time. That's how I think drives me to do new things.
Yeah, but there's a lot of juggles that keeps happening with the entrepreneurs, right? So hats off to you for starting the third, you know, new business that you are looking into now, right? Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah. Quality and consistency are key aspects for a brand that we all know and which we, look forward to. But with the food, a crucial and yet most often commercially less focused becomes the food safety, right? Which is always a later part to it. But with your businesses that we all are handling food now, coming to you, Divya, as you mentioned, you are working with microgreens and tofu, and both of them are something around a high risk and sensitive product. How do you deal with the aspect of food safety? And, it's also a niche product which is there. How do you educate your customers on the same?
Ever since I took over Sarika, we've tried very hard to imbibe the food safety culture with all our food handlers and non-food handlers alike. We have a very strong quality team within the organization that does regular trainings. And like you rightly pointed out, our products are mostly consumed raw. So the level of, risk and contamination is that much more higher. So you worked so closely with us. You've seen us get from point A to wherever we are right now. So you are no stranger to our journey. But yes, constant reiteration and just making sure that culture of having to grow a pack dispatch with certain standard of operation is critical, and my team knows that it cannot be compromised with.
How do you educate your customer, because it's a very niche product that you work with?
We work with the HoReCa industry. We have grown organically. I cannot boast of having done creative marketing campaigns. We have not, unfortunately. Our growth has been mostly organic. And if your product speaks for itself, I guess reference, from one chef to the other is probably the strongest way for the word to spread. And the most and it's probably the most so having a senior mom and not able to get the right adjective. It's probably the most deepest way for the word to spread, through personal reference. So once the chefs community are aware of your produce and quality, you are in business. But we are trying to expand our footprint pan-India, especially with respect to tofu. Might get in touch with Mansi, might need her inputs, with respect to cold storage, logistics, etc. But yes, it's a very interesting space for us to be in, tofu being so high in protein, and us being a protein deficient country. One can consume tofu in such interesting ways. So there's a lot of interesting work for us to be done in that space. So we're highly excited and looking forward to it.
All the power to you, Divya, to grow your business. And absolutely rightly mentioned, nothing better than somebody else giving you, that word of mouth and a reference, right? That stays for a longer time because somebody believes in you, believes in your product that you've handled. And Mansi, there you go, you have one more lead today, right? And on a related topic that we're talking about, Mansi, you said, absolutely, you mentioned that the high risk food, right, which needs control of temperature, your fresh fruit products. And with a tight schedule, because reliability is a key for you, consistency is a key for you, the right product at the right time, at the right place. So managing the fresh food logistics across multiple cities, it comes with its operational complexity for sure, right? While you were growing, what were some of your biggest challenges you faced, scaling your network in the business?
Sure. So I think, Sarika, what's really helped in our journey is obviously that we've raised money, with capital comes scale. I've bootstrapped the business for 4 years. And in those 4 years, we could grow from 2 vehicles to 18 vehicles. And in the last 3.5 years that we've raised capital, we've grown from 18 vehicles to 350 vehicles. So with capital, gives us the ability to really hire fantastic talent. There's only so much a single founder can do or a single person can do. You need a team to really scale. So I think what's really helped us is the fundraise that's helped us hire the right talent. But getting the right talent is one thing. What is really essential is the company culture, launching 6 cities while I'm stationed out of Mumbai is only possible when we get the right talent and ensure the right culture is across the organization. I'm very proud to say that we were recently certified as Great Place to Work, which is rare for a logistics company and that also a startup. And that's just reflective of the amazing company culture that all my key MPs, my key managerial personnel, we as senior leadership carry through. In terms of operational challenges, I think once your company culture is in place, and you have good teams leading various geographies, then there are the operational challenges that we address is basically a bit different. See, scaling fresh food logistics is different from traditional logistics, because of all the sensitivities involved. So one of our biggest challenges was maintaining consistent standards across cities. When we operate in multiple locations, the quality of execution can vary, unless there are strong processes and regular training systems. The second challenge is infrastructure. Cold chain infrastructure in India is still evolving, so we had to invest in building a network that actually ensures temperature integrity across the entire journey. And the third thing I come back to is human capital. Logistics is a people-intensive industry with very high attrition. Ensuring every team member actually understands the end goal of food safety and proper handling is critical. So essentially what we've done is we've built standardized training programs. We built tech-based monitoring systems. we build strong operational SOPs. And every week, on every Tuesday, we dedicate 2 hours where we discuss every issue that may have happened anywhere. So we have like a form which is filled in. Anything, anytime happens, everyone fills in the form so that the solution is discussed, because problems will keep coming. The nature of problems changes. But today, if there's a problem in Bangalore, if it's discussed on a forum, Delhi can avoid having the same problem. So we ensure that the solutions are implemented and the same problem doesn't repeat. So these are a few things that we do to address the operational challenges of logistics.
Might be really under control, absolutely, as mentioned, by you, saying like the type of challenges changes, right, over a period of time. You have mastered something, but then you have not seen something and it just pops up, right? So it's a continual improvement, I would say, that has to keep going in and until I don't know till when, but then yeah, definitely, right. So yeah, I think it's a journey, right, which we all are into, and that keeps happening. So yeah, coming to you, Divya, India runs on chai, right? And masala chai, milk tea is something, we all buy for, right? And everybody, I do see a transition saying like from, the masala chai or the milk tea, right? People still moving to other forms of tea, right? And how do you see market getting affected? Because there was a regulation around December, right? A notice which had come in saying like, if you don't have the tea leaves, you can't call, the blue pea tea as a tea anymore, or the hibiscus tea as tea anymore, right? Do you see any market effect saying like, if you don't call a tea, how would that go around? Yeah.
No, I think there are different ways. It's not just calling a tea. There are different ways. You see companies like the blue teas and all that taking the flower buds and doing a lot of innovative things. Appreciate a lot of innovative things that doesn't impact on market. But India is transitioning, is what I feel. Previously, like there are traditional tea drinkers where the people had a lot of sugar in it, a lot of milk in it. People want to now the generation is like they want to avoid the sugar, they want to avoid the milk, but they also want that antioxidant effect, they want the caffeine effect, they want to have some more addition, like they have chamomiles, we have got chamomiles for getting good sleep, and we're adding a lot of herbs like ashwagandha, curcumins, lot of the herbals which gives you calming effect, reduces stress. I think people are when they look at a product, they are looking for what health benefit I can get. This is where even India is transition, what I can see. Any product, even if you see even the red labels, all the tea, now they come with one or the other claims stating that it is anti-inflammatory or immunity or something. Health claim has become a package for any food industry. Like Divya Kumar is doing like the tofus, like the protein is getting up very well. You can see that Super U and all those companies, they are getting, people are looking, trying to find protein in everything they eat. Like in the same way in the tea also, they are looking for some health benefit. Maybe like when they drink it in the night, they should get good sleep. When they drink it in the morning, they should be stress free. When they drink it in afterward, it should calm afternoon, it should calm them. So there are a lot of variants, and there's a lot of opportunity for the young entrepreneurs or the new entrepreneurs to come up with a lot of innovative ideas. Now the bagless tea, there's other kind of teas, innovative biodegradable bag teas, and lot of things, lot of innovation is happening, and there is a lot of space for everybody who's coming up new, is what I can say.
With you having a backup of your clinical trials, I think you will be, better off with
Yes,
doing.
that is the added advantage. What I can tell that we both can, like Biogel can help doing clinical trials for Campbell beverages, where we have a proper scientific study done. Very less companies have proper scientific study done products. We can do a proper scientific study and give you a proper journal on what we have done, and that gives a lot of scientific authentication, is what I can say.
Yeah, at times I think people just come saying like, you know what, these guys are claiming so and so, why can't we claim it? We can put
Mm.
this and that, and then we have
Yes.
to tell them, saying like, before you claim, there has to be a substantial, report
Study.
that you can
Yes.
say as per the clinical trial, saying that yes, this is the difference that you have seen. But then I think people are in a hurry; they just want to market the product.
And they don't want to invest in research. Basically, in India, that culture is still have not. It's still there. People don't want to invest in research. They want to invest in marketing. They want to invest in Instagrams. They want to invest in everything except the R&D.
Yeah, because R&D comes with its own cost, right? A big
Yes,
cost, I would say.
and
So
time
I think
consuming as well.
yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah. And yeah, moving to you, Divya, most of our work, for that matter, does not matter whether it's for you or it's for Mansi or for Divya, right? Most of our work till now, it's highly dependent on our human resource, right? And how do you navigate predominantly leading a male workforce, as a women founder that you are?
Like Mansi rightly pointed right at the beginning, competency precedes gender, right? Thankfully, I have actually, I have over the years encountered people who wouldn't take instructions from their woman boss, and would probably prefer to take instructions from the man at the helm of affairs. But I think once you become senior and you're able to assert autonomy and confidence, I guess these lines begin to look blurred. When you're unsure yourself is when I feel one can see it and can take advantage of your lack of autonomy. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I'm sure each one of you all have experienced not being taken seriously when you're unsure, but that equation changes once the confidence, autonomy, and agency is more assumed when you are talking about your subject or from your place of authority. So how do I deal with a predominantly male workforce? At the moment, we have a small team, we have a young team, a motivated team. It's predominantly male, but working with the younger lot, I guess, is a lot easier. And when you're in a senior position, you command respect a lot easier. And with competency and experience, it does become a lot easier. I don't know what the other two ladies would think and say, but this has largely been my experience.
Yeah, over to
I've
you, Mansi.
thankfully had to negotiate boardrooms, which have tight glass ceiling for women. I've not had to negotiate myself in situations like that. Will be interesting to hear the other's point of view.
Absolutely open to you, Mansi, to hear what are your challenges or how do you lead that. And plus, Divya has a smaller team, and I'm aware about that. But with you, right, you have a bigger team, and mostly, yes, I assume it's male force again, workforce that's there, and we all agree there's a huge attrition in the industry. So how do you handle, the whole thing about keeping sanity, around it? Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see the distinction between having male forces or female forces. Men are never asked when they are, for instance, running a garment processing industry where mostly women are, suing that, how do you handle this? But just in terms of attrition and motivating workforce, Again, I think given that we're a funded company and we have an ESOP pool, we can offer wealth generation opportunities to the best of talent. So I think to that extent, it's easier for funded companies to kind of retain top talent and to even attract top talent. When I was bootstrapped, I didn't have the luxury of doing that. But everything boils down to your style of leadership. So my style of leadership, and this is because I worked in a private equity fund where there was complete autonomy and with complete responsibility, So my style of leadership is also that we set the KRAs at the beginning of the year. We have our business plan set out, which is approved by investors. That entire business plan is actually translated into KRAs for the key leadership team. So everyone's aligned towards that one goal. Even the business plan is actually first internally discussed and then passed. So there is buy-in, And then every quarter, we actually review the performance. We see where the gaps are and how that can be helped. Trust me, beyond that, there is very little that I need to engage with, because people know they have clarity on what they need to do. They know if they're struggling with something, there's a group of people where they can brainstorm and they can exchange and they can see how that can go through. And all their reportees also have their KRAs set. So the challenge I do find is translating the same culture into every city. So for instance, one of our cities is a little different in terms of company culture. So we make it a point to kind of spend more time there, to effectively translate this. And I think to that extent, we have been able to limit attrition. But yes, it is a common problem across industries. And we've just got to figure what works for us in our industry or in our stage of startup to address that.
So it's a continuous journey. Again, I think, you have to, and rightly mentioned, it's far more easier when you have the funding done so that, you can attract the right talents and retain them for sure. And absolutely rightly mentioned, having the KRAs defined right at the starting so that people are responsible and accountable, which I think would be a good thing to learn and take away from the, conversation that we are having, right? So moving to you, Divya, what type of challenges you see in your industry, both in your clinical, lab that you run and as well as the tea business that you have started?
So I think basic challenges is like as everybody industry feel we train the we want newcomers because they have fresh ideas and they listen to us and there's a lot of things in there. But once we train them, we always they always tend to go to bigger companies. We would have put all the efforts by the time we bring into them to certain stage, they already have the mind frame to go into a bigger company, bigger organization. Everybody dreams to be in a bigger organization. This is one challenge I think I think everybody face. Even the bigger MNCs, they want to switch from companies to company. This is one common challenge. Other than that, we are all dealing with food and medicine, which is as a consumable. This should be very well taken care of, every small things, because this can have a bigger impact, something bad impact as well if things are not taken care, regulatory wise, safety wise, everything. So I think people management is one thing, and also now the things are all data, everything is gearing up with AIs and software and a lot of things. I think we have been like a traditional old school style. Still we need to still gear up and upgrade ourselves is what I feel as a challenge now.
Sarika, I'd like to add. May I? I'd like to add that
Yeah,
I
yeah, please,
constantly
please.
tell my team that by virtue of being in a small company, which does not probably have very clearly defined KRAs, and one has to multitask, that critical thinking and problem solving is a part of their everyday KRA, which is probably something they wouldn't be exposed to a well-structured organization. So their contribution does feel like a contribution. So there is that sense of taking something away at the end of the day that you get when you work in smaller organizations where one has to manage multiple roles.
Yeah, I think, all the businesses have their different challenges, different ways of working, and different ownership as well as achievement. I think by the end of the day, if you're doing multiple things and achieving, that is an achievement, right? Not saying like in a set things, like maybe Mansi has done multiple things earlier, but, done maybe the people who were working with her earlier also have done juggling between different things, but now maybe with the set things she has people with the easier KRAs. Absolutely, rightly mentioned, Divya. I think that's again, where you are, how you are is all matters, right? Over a period of time, saying what type of things you put it across as a team. Right? Yeah. So moving to you, Divya, the adoption of microgreens has been driven by focus on sustainability. In the market of food, what do you see other niches and categories emerging as sustainability becomes an integral part of lifestyle?
Sustainability should be an integral part of our everyday life from the time we wake up till the time we sleep, and all the things that we do in between. One has to be mindful of where the things that they're using constantly is coming from. We are very excited in that sense, to be venturing into a ready to eat, ready to cook space, by operating within the realm of sustainability. We're trying to infuse microgreens into our tofu. We tried a blue pea infused tofu, beautiful blue marble looking tofu with oleo raisins of lemongrass. That's what happens when you bring designer into the food space. We're trying to be in the better for you segment by using oleo raisins as opposed to seasonings, which have to by default have stabilizers and all of those E category additives, which we don't want to have in our products. So we're trying a whole new range of ready to cook, ready to eat products which can be gotten to your dining table in the best possible algorithm of being meaningful and energy efficient. So yes, it's an exciting few years, few months for us. I just hope the war situation will not set us back. But yes, that's the lines we're thinking on.
Sounds really interesting, what you are up to, designing your tofus with different colors and different, incorporation of infused products and all. Yeah.
And you've consumed it with your eyes even before you've eaten it. It looks so good.
Yeah. Looking forward to having a sensory done for your product. Yeah. Okay.
I will look
Yeah.
you in.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, rightly. So just before we started this conversation, we were talking about how, the war is affecting our restaurant industry. So, with all the gas business, which is getting affected. But for sure, we'll come back, up back soon with all the restaurants. The growth that we have seen after the COVID, during the COVID was a tough time where, a lot of restaurants had to close. But after that, we did see, growth in the restaurant business, the cloud kitchens, food brands. Mansi, for you, how do you see the logistics ecosystem evolving in the coming years for India?
So, logistics today in the organized developed countries, logistics is 4 to 6% as a spend on the GDP of the GDP. And in India, until recently, it was 11-12%. And now, of course, Mr. Gadkari has done a fantastic job in building efficiencies, and he's brought it down to 9 to 10%. In the food industry specifically, there is still a huge opportunity to create efficiencies. There is still a lot of food that gets wasted because of temperature abuse, because of delayed deliveries, because of trucks getting stuck, and the perishable nature of the food. So it's a very vast industry. To give you context, the F&B industry in India is $150 billion. And logistics is 8 to 9% of that. So we are talking about $15 to $16 billion industry. And the mid-mile space is half of that. So logistics for food is a massive industry. 90% of it is run by unorganized transporters. That's the scale that we're talking about. And given that quick com is rapidly coming, rapidly growing, new QSRs, international QSRs are entering India. Domestic QSRs quick serve restaurants are growing. Cafe chains, every day you hear of new cafe chains coming in, ice cream brands. So food logistics in India is a vast industry, and it's very rapidly growing. And we need a lot of people to come in and create efficiencies, because even today, F&B entrepreneurs have to break their head over gaadi kidhar hai, and have to just pray that temperature was maintained, Let's give them that infrastructure for scale. Let's give them that peace of mind and that reliability. So in short, it's a very good time to be in the logistics and supply chain and the cold chain movement in India right now.
That's absolutely true, right? Saying like we have a lot of challenges, lot of food that goes as a waste because just the temperatures were not maintained, right? Because the guy who's receiving does not accept because the temperatures were way beyond, the cold chain that was expected to be. So, yeah. So I think we will be solving a lot of problems, right? Having systems, processes, things in place, maintaining the temperatures. It might come with a cost, but then definitely at the whole ecosystem, you are saving the planet, by reducing the wastage that goes as a landfill or anything out there. Divya, your thoughts on building a new business. You've been a serial entrepreneur, right? If you can specifically throw some light on importance of building network for women, that would be really helpful. Yeah.
I think what I always believe in, what is your network is your net worth. I think building network, it has always been, we would have gone to so many events, so many conferences, which have not even been relevant to us, but somehow the other way it would have helped us, or we would have helped them. I think building network is very important as women. I think that is where men have been successful. If you see in politics, they go after 7 p.m., they sit, they drink, they spend time, they network, they talk to people. That is, I think that is what is missing with women. Like, we are like after 7 8, we just want to be back to home, we have responsibilities, we have things. I think networking plays a key role in your success. And if you see many of the entrepreneurs, many of the male entrepreneurs, though they are not, they have become what do you say, overnight entrepreneurs due to their networking skills. They would have got connected to somebody would have told, can you do this? They would have done this. I think this is what is missing in women. That's why we have very, if I want to tell, I have doing my doctorate and my PhD. My topic is why there are less women entrepreneurs in India. The main reason is we don't go out and network like how the men do. They do easy networking. They don't network, they want to network. They like meet people, spend their time out of the house as well. That's adds a lot of value for their career is what I feel. So
I look forward to your research paper once it's out, saying like,
yes,
why
yes,
are there less entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs for sure,
yes.
right, in the market. So we look forward to that, right? And for sure, there are a lot of women who are interested in entering the food industry at various points, in the supply chain. But we find though daunting because of perhaps the perception due to gender gap, patriarchal ideology, lack of awareness, access to suitable education, training, peer group, access to capital, not being aware of opportunities, the market that's available, or simply not being sure of how to convert their ideas and passion into a viable business setup, right? So coming to you, Divya, we'd like to have your final remarks, before we take the questions from our viewers. If there are any, I'll check on that. What advice would you give women, aspiring to enter the food industry, either as a professional or an entrepreneur? And can you name any two strengths or characteristics as a woman that you feel have helped you through your entrepreneurial journey so far?
As Divya rightly pointed out, women lack sisterhood. When you have a boy at home, you feel so much more comfortable to send him out of the house to bring ABC, or just let him pedal outside on a cycle on the road and not really be bothered. The same somehow does not get extended to a girl. You're doubly cautious. So the fabric of the society somehow naturally extends autonomy to a man than it does to a woman. And that is the DNA of why, when Divya says, why is it that women want to be home by 7 and tend to domestic chores as opposed to being out there drinking and socializing? Yes, it's the DNA of the fabric of the society that instills these very minor prejudices, even without us being consciously aware of it. What advice would I give to young women? Become aware of these prejudices and prevail over it. Assume autonomy. I constantly say this, assume autonomy, because nobody is going to hand it over to you. Nobody is going to empower you. You have to assume it for yourself and build competency. And women women are naturally more attuned towards traits that make them better human beings. So, which means that they're naturally better leaders, better entrepreneurs, just better at everything. So what they lack is the sense of agency and autonomy. I think if they're constantly waiting for somebody to give them a push. So if you become aware of it and give yourself the agency and autonomy, I think it becomes a lot easier for you to pave your own path. It might be riddled with obstacles, but you will find your path. I think that would be my advice to young women. Don't be too bogged down by, the comments that are made mostly, at the physical attributes. Yeah. Don't be too bogged down by it.
Yeah, over to you, Mansi. Few words from you.
Yeah, I think Divya captured it really well. I think there are so many conditionings that, we are subject to. And I think my advice would be that we as mothers should kind of make sure that we raise our kids, the right way. Even at home, the way we treat our sons and our daughters should not be different. We need to teach our boys, basic skills as well, so that they don't become burdens for their wives. I think it all starts at home, and let's do our best to bring our kids up the right way so that we can make that impact in the future.
And Divya, from you.
Yeah, but I would like to give one message is that opportunity is huge. India is a large country and we have large population, all kind of population, diversified population, all kind of age groups, all kind of buyers, consumers. I think there's a larger opportunity available in India. There is a chance and there's an opportunity. There's a pie for everybody to have a part of it, to be a part of every pie. Everybody has opportunity. We can't just say, oh, this industry is already taken by them, this is already done, they are there. No, there's enough for everybody here. This is a large country. I that is what I feel. So wherever you're passionate about, I think everybody has to give a try on it and try to become entrepreneurs is what I suggest.
Absolutely. I think we are, very big country, right? And everybody has their own, path there. Everybody has an opportunity to work. Absolutely said. Rightly said. So we have this question. I think I'll put it across to all three of you, right, which has come through. What kind of support systems, mentorship, networks, or institutional support made a meaningful difference in your journey?
Should I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think we should have not just mentors, at least we should have somebody who can give appropriate information to us. Not actually mentors, at least to tell us what is right and wrong. I had many of the industry people who I used to connect regularly on basis, ask what is right or wrong. That is important. And there is a lot of government schemes available. I think not many people are not aware of the schemes which is already available. For example, for our packing unit, we are going ahead with one scheme for PMFE scheme, which means the Prime Minister Microprocessing scheme is there. In that, where you get a loan at a lesser rate of interest, and also in that 30% is paid by Government of India. The loan is paid back. For example, if you take 1 crore, 30 lakhs is being taken care by the Government of India. And there's a Mudra loan, and there is Startup India seed grant. There are certain grants. There are 20 lakhs of non-refundable grants from Government of India where you can avail, and certain from governments. For example, I availed myself. If you're putting your stalls outside India, you can claim 50% of your booth charges, travel charges. There's a lot which I avail myself. And for my industrial unit, I availed a KSFC loan for women at 4% interest. So there's a lot of things which I could avail myself. I want women to be aware of what is available for them. I think this is very important. Not much people are aware what they can get. I think that is very important.
How does one become aware of them, Divya?
I think they should do their own research. They should consult people who have availed, and they should, for example, me, I knock the door of every government office. You should go and knock the door. So many things will be onboarded, online will be there. But when it comes to reality, so many things will not be available. You have to roam around. But I made sure I knocked every door of every government office, every KIDB, industrial lands, KSFC, financial corporations. So I think people should go and knock the doors of it is what I feel. Then a new things will if you don't get that, you'll get a new thing out of that visit or out of that meeting is what I felt.
Mansi, anything that you would like to add on to it?
Yeah, so I've been a member of the Ascent Foundation, which is set up by Harsh Mariwala, and it's got chapters in many cities. And I think that's been very helpful because we are all entrepreneurs here, and there's a lot of information exchange that happens there. So I'd recommend looking that up. It's for all entrepreneurs. people who've set up businesses and are now looking at scaling. I have recently also joined Ladies Who Lead. That's again an initiative by Abha Bakaya. And that also puts powerful women leaders, in a room. So I think there are many foundations, and you're absolutely right, Sarika, that it's very important that we don't live under a rock. But we are going there, we are networking, because like Divya correctly mentioned, your network is your net worth. Also mentors, I have one person that I go to when I need advice for marketing. I have one person I go to for team building. I have one person I need to go for, scaling up. So I think it's very important to identify these people and time to time just take them out for a breakfast or for a dinner. It's amazing the amount people are wanting to help and are ready to help. We just shouldn't feel shy from asking. And of course, we also need to give back. So there are so many young entrepreneurs there who may want advice. So I regularly talk at Jai Hind, advising young entrepreneurs on startup at SBGen. So it's a lot of give and take, but I think sound advice and having right people for certain topics is very important.
Completely agreed.
Divya Kumar, you would like to add anything to this?
I think the two ladies have beautifully summed it up. And they're right. How much ever one feels they are anchored enough on their own, one does need a support system and mentors to voice yourself and to be heard and to understand, because you never know everything. So it's important to knock on the right doors.
And we all know now we can go to Divya C. So if we need any schemes, she's all mastered it out. Hey, Divya, hope that's open.
Sure. Please feel free.
Yeah. So it has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you, everyone. It has been a pleasure speaking to all of you and getting to know your stories. I'm sure our viewers would have gained tremendous insights and understanding on what it takes to be a women leader in the food industry and opportunities that lie ahead, right? It's a big, big country and a lot of opportunities that we have. I think an important takeaway from today's conversation and the practices your businesses follow should be need to be mindful of where your food comes from, how you're handling it, how it's processed, packaged, and delivered, what we choose to eat, and the impact it has on the environment around us. We did talk about a lot of sustainability as well when we went through the conversation. So a parting message to the women in or aspiring to join the industry: follow your passion and play to your strengths and take the leap. As we continue with our quarterly webinar series, do share your feedback and any topics you would like us to cover through our email ID feedback@foodsafetyworks.com. To stay updated on our webinars, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, and Twitter, and our handle is Food Safety Works. We regularly share news and insights about what is going in the world of food safety. As a company, we are committed to providing end-to-end solutions for food safety. We also conduct regular online trainings on various topics, including FOSTAC trainings, as per the FSSAI mandate. You can download our Android app from Play Store. Look for Food Safety Works Academy to stay updated on our trainings, webinars, and other knowledge-sharing sessions. For FSSAI updates, we help you track on our FSSAI compliance. You can download My FSC app, available both on Android and Apple Store. You can also check out www.myfssai.in to get details on what the platform can do for you. To check out how we can help you on your journey of health, safety in food, please visit our website, www.foodsafetyworks.com. While you are there, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. Thank you once again for joining. Have a good rest of the day and wishing you safe times ahead. Thank you so much, all three of you, for taking out time, joining us. If there's something that we can do, please reach out and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you very much. It was a fantastic hour spent. It was really nice knowing both the Divyas as well. Thank you, Sarika, for having me.
Thank you, Mansi.
Thank you, everybody. It was, I think, we also learned a lot during this discussion, which was very nice. Thanks, Sarika, for organizing this, and congratulations to Divya Kumar and Mansi. You're doing good job. Please continue to do the same. Thank you.
Thanks, Divya.
Thank you, ladies. Hope to connect with you offline. It was great knowing you. And like Mansi said, it was an hour well spent. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.